Hello everybody, this is Germ. This is some Battlefield 3 beta gameplay footage, but that's not really what I want to talk to you guys about today. I have kind of an interesting slash funny slash I'm not sure if I believe it story to tell you. Today I needed to go put some new tires on my car, and I know what you're thinking, Germ, he sounds like a pretty sexy dude. What type of beast car does he drive? Well, this is what I drive. Oh yeah, baby. 1996 Toyota Tercel. It actually is a pretty awesome car if you have the same car priorities I do right now. Like, I love nice cars. I love fast cars, but I own this car for a very particular reason, and I'm not ashamed about it. So anyway, I needed to put some new tires on my car because the tires that were on it were 155s. If you know how to read a car tire, you'll know how terrible that is. If you don't know how to read a car tire, look at the width of the video. If you're viewing this video in 360p or 480p, like the standard YouTube width as soon as you load the page, that's only slightly narrower than the tires that are on my car. Yeah, I know. That's pretty bad. So for a while, I've been wanting to put some new tires on it, and this was a good month. Both my wife and I are salaried, so every couple months there's a 3 paycheck month. So this was a 3 paycheck month because there were 3 Fridays, and so we got kind of like an extra paycheck this month, and we decided, hey, you know, we'll take some of that and we will put it towards new tires for the Tercel. So that's what we did. I ordered some tires, much wider. They're like 175s, so I guess it's not like much wider, but that's like almost 8 inches wide, so that's pretty good. So I ordered the tires, they arrive, so of course now I need to go get the tires put on the car, the important second step. So I was trying to pick a place to have the tires put on, and since I don't live in my hometown anymore, I couldn't use any of the places I'd used before. I moved like an hour away from my hometown. I didn't want to drive an hour to have tires put on my car, so I thought, you know what, there's like 50 car tire places in this town. I'll just find a new place. Not a big deal, right? Well, that's what I thought. I called the mechanic that I normally work with down here, and he said, nope, I don't do tires, but you know, there's a tire place right next door to me. I said, oh, cool, what's the name? He said, $30 Tire. And I waited. And nope, okay, that was the whole name, $30 Tire. I don't know who named their, who thought it was a great idea to name their business that, but whatever. That kind of actually does a pretty good job of telling you exactly what they do. They sell used tires. They put tires in your car. I thought, sure, you know. And so the place in town where this tire place was not the best area of town. I wasn't worried. It wasn't like a terrible area, but I thought, it's probably the perfect place to put a used tire place. So I show up. Well, actually, I called them like 2 days before, and they said, yeah, we're open at 7:30. We can put the tires on for you. I said, cool. So I show up at 7:30 in the morning. And my first tip-off was, I pull in at 7:30 in the morning. They're not quite open. Actually, it's like 7:35. So I figured, not a big deal. I don't think that many people probably show up that early in the morning. They're 5 minutes late. No big deal. Well, actually, it turns out there's some guy standing in the middle of the garage bay. Now, this is a garage bay. It's like a two-car garage bay, but it's really long. It's probably 60 or 70 feet long. Like, you could fit a tractor trailer in it, which fits for a tire place. And there's these big racks in one of the bays just full of used tires stacked to the ceiling. And that's like the only thing in this garage are these big tire stacks. So I thought, that's kind of interesting. I wonder where all the tools are, like the balancing machines and stuff. But, I'm not a tire repairman or a tire mounter professionally. I've never done this before in my life. Who am I to tell them how to run their business? So I walk up to the gentleman and I say, good morning, sir. I called a couple days ago. I need to have some tires put onto my car. He said, okay, well, let me go get, I forget the guy's name. He kind of slurred the name a little bit. Let me go get something that sounded like Richard. I said, okay. So we walk towards the back of the garage, and the man, who will assume his name is Richard, young gentleman, looked to be about 25 years old, was sweeping in the back of the garage. Now, I say sweeping in a very general term because he wasn't sweeping so much as pathetically walking around in a circle, kind of halfway dragging a broom. But, it's 7:30 in the morning. None of this is really a red flag. So I say, hi, Richard. My name is so-and-so. I have some tires I need to put on my car. And he said, okay, you need to buy tires? I said, no, I have the tires with me. I just need them installed. He said, wait, so you brought tires? And I was thinking, okay, look, I know you work at a tire shop, but yes, this should be something you're kind of used to doing. Yes, I brought tires and I'd like you to install them. He said, so do you have the tires in the car now? And I'm thinking, all right, dude, like, I know it doesn't say $30 tire and brain surgery on your sign, but seriously, get with it. Yes, I have tires in my car. Now, I didn't say that to him out loud. I just said that to myself. I was very polite to him because, it's early in the morning, and you can't always assume that, he could have had a long day the day before. Don't want to assume he's just being hard to deal with, or I don't want to say he was being stupid, but I don't want to say he was just kind of being ignorant or something. Maybe he was having a bad day. So I'm like, yeah, they're in my car. He says, okay, well, hold on just a minute. The receptionist, and I'm sorry, but I don't remember her name. The receptionist will be here in a minute, and we'll get you sorted out. So I'm like, okay, not a big deal. So I go and I stand by the door to the office. The office is still closed, and I'm holding my briefcase. And I'm just kind of waiting, and so about 10 minutes after 7:30, so they should technically have already been open, car pulls into the parking lot. A young lady's in it. She looks to be about 26 to 30 years old. I figure, okay, she's probably the receptionist because, she pulled in like she looked like she went right for her parking spot or something. She didn't look like she was pulling there for tires. She looked like she came there all the time. So I'm assuming, hey, she's probably the receptionist. So then she sat in her car for 5 minutes talking on the phone. So I was starting to get a little bit ticked off at this point. I was like, it's obvious that I'm standing here in front of the door. I'm politely waiting to be let in. I'm not going to try to just, poke my way through the garage and try to get into your garage. Like, I'm respectfully waiting. And I waited for 5 minutes. Finally, she gets out of her car, still on the phone, walks across the parking lot, still on the phone, and walks into the garage and then lets herself into the office. And then she didn't let me into the office. She kept talking on the phone. And by now, I was starting to notice a few more things about this garage. Like, there weren't any rims inside the garage itself, but it said they sold rims. It said they sold rims. There weren't any rims inside the garage. There were only like 3 samples sitting in the lobby or the office of this mechanic's place. So I was like, well, that's kind of weird. But again, that's not really a red flag. Maybe they order all their wheels. Who knows? And I still didn't really see any tools, which I was starting to think was kind of weird. So right as when she's about to unlock the door to let me in, she's walking towards the door to let me into the office. I see a sign on the front door that says cash only. And it's right on the $30 used tire sign. So I'm like, okay, so you need to, pay for the used tires in cash. That kind of makes sense. I understand not wanting to take checks or anything like that. So I thought, I better check just in case because I don't want them to start working on my car and then there be a problem. So when she lets me into the office, she says, okay, so what do you need? I said, I need to put tires on my car. She said, okay, you need to buy some tires? I said, nope, I have the tires with me. She said, so like the tires are in your car? And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, like I just had this conversation. Or, is there something in your water? You all don't seem to understand what it means for someone to bring their own tires. But I was very polite. I said, yeah, I brought my tires. They're in my car. I just need them installed. She said, okay. I said, now I noticed your sign on the front door that said cash only. I'm assuming that's just for the used tires, right? And she said, no, that's for everything. I said, for everything? Like you don't take debit cards or credit cards? And she said, no, we only do cash. So I'm like, okay. So you're in the not great area of town. You only accept cash. You don't really have that many tools, and you sure don't care a hill of beans about customer service. I thought, is it possible that I've actually come to a drug front? Like, is this a money laundering operation? Because cash only, I've seen The Wire and Breaking Bad, I think I know a thing or two about money laundering operations. And I'm joking, by the way. But it seems like this is like the perfect drug front. If these people aren't a drug front, they really should be because they'd be better at that than they would be at actually helping their customers because they don't really seem to be that interested in that. So I said, well, I'm sorry, I didn't actually bring cash with me. I thought I was going to be able to use a debit card, so I guess I'm not going to be able to be your customer today. And she said, oh, okay. And she stuck her head into the garage while I'm standing right there and said, nah, it's okay. He doesn't have any cash. I was like, well, that's a little bit weird. And I said, thank you, ma'am. And then I walked out and I left and I went to Merchant's Tire. And Merchant's Tire was very helpful. And an hour and a half later, I had my new tires on and I was ready to go. But yeah, anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I've never been to a business where I thought, this looks like a drug front. But this place definitely looked like a drug front. Like I said before, if these people were not a money laundering operation, they really should have been, because I really think they would have been a lot better at that than they would be at actually putting tires on people's cars. So, you know, if you ever come into my area of town, if you happen to know where that is, let me know and I'll take you to see it. Anyway, guys, this gameplay is starting to wrap up. I know what I talked about had nothing to do with the gameplay, but it was just kind of something interesting that happened to me. I thought maybe some of you guys would be interested in it. And the gameplay is almost over. I forget how I scored. I think I did alright in this gameplay. But anyway, there'll be many more Battlefield 3 gameplays to come and maybe some funny stories. So everyone, thanks for watching and have a great day.